Folks, a simple topic in this video, and while it's not a magic bullet for plant growth, it can help with more uniform plant growth in your tanks. We're talking about replacing your old stock aquarium hood. I'm replacing mine. For the first time in 6 years I've had this 20 tall, so shedding some light on how replacing your stock aquarium hood can help with your plant growth. Now our lights have to travel through the aquarium hood, through the water column, and down to the plants. The farther the light has to travel, the less intense it gets, the longer it travels. In a previous video, I talked about cleaning and checking under the hood, cleaning off calcium deposits and algae buildup on the bottom of your hoods to give light a clean path to get down to your plants. The less obstacles, the better. Nothing against stock aquarium hoods. Many of them are great. They are built and made to cater to a wide variety of fish keepers, many of whom are not planted tank keepers. But with a planted tank, I have a couple issues with this stock hood. I have a very small area of acrylic that light can pass through. And I have my flip top in the front, which, while great for feeding the fish, doesn't give me very much lighting coverage. So while I'm getting great plant growth toward the back of my tank, when I look at some of my foreground plants, well, the growth on these guys, especially the Starogani repens, not so much. Another clear sign of lighting deficiency is plants start to get leggy. These plants are trying to reach up to the light because they're not getting quite enough. The microsword that I planted a couple weeks ago, while it's not dying, isn't really doing anything for me. It's just there. Now, of course, these are foreground plants. They do require more intense lighting, and that very well could be the case that by the time this light gets to the bottom of the tank, it's just not quite intense enough. However, when I was looking at the dwarf bacopa that I planted, the dwarf bacopa that's more toward the back of the tank is growing much better than the bacopa in the front, and all the parameters are the same. So while I'm getting good lighting coverage toward the back of the tank, I'm not getting very much lighting coverage toward the front, and that has to do with the hood configuration. With the acrylic in the back of the aquarium hood, I had to move my light more toward the back of the tank, of course, but I wasn't getting a whole lot of coverage where the flip top is in the front of the aquarium hood, and even so, it's still a very small surface area for light to pass through. You can see the line of light, you can see the lighting coverage on the flip top, and you can see how much lighting coverage I'm getting, but I'm not getting any on the front of that flip top, and that is right over the front of the tank and where the Starogani repens and microsword is. So after 6 years, it was time to finally replace my aquarium hood. I went with the Marineland Perfecto glass aquarium canopy. The O is covered by the sticker, but what a name to live up to. And I did a lot of research and tried to figure out where folks were buying their replacement aquarium hoods. I didn't see a lot out there, so I went with the good folks at Doctors Foster and Smith. If you go to fish and go down to aquarium stands and hoods on the left-hand side, you will see hoods and canopies. And you'll see the Marineland Perfecto hood first. Aquarium also has a couple different versatops that you can choose from. I went with the Marineland, and what I loved about the layout on the website is not only do they give you the dimensions of the hood, but they tell you what type of tank it fits. So here is me, a 20 high, same as a regular 15 gallon. So I found that very helpful for sizing. And when it came in the mail, the good folks at Doctors Foster and Smith packed it so well it came in an enormous box because of all the bubble wrap, so thank you for the nice job on shipping. You get 3 pieces, an extender, a handle, and your glass top. Now what I like about this, there's a plastic bracket, so if you ever wanted to pull this glass apart or cut a custom piece of glass to make it a little bit longer, you have the option to pop that off and pop on a new piece of glass. You have a plastic extender that will pop on the back of the glass if you want full coverage on your tank. And not only are rectangular canopies available, but so are pentagons and Euro canopies for those of you with bow front tanks, so a lot of options available there. Now, just one recommendation, not much to the installation, but I'm going to tell myself and make a confession. I put this on backwards first, so make sure that the top of this canopy is the side that folds down. On the bottom of the canopy, that plastic bracket is bound. First time I did this, I put it on backwards, and I wasn't able to lift up the top. Now I will tell you, this handle, the adhesive that they use is extremely sticky, and I had a hard time prying that off to turn the canopy over and redo it. So just make sure you've got it on the top and the right side of the canopy. Opens up quite nicely, and the fit was perfect. Now what I liked is the standard configuration without the plastic extender gives you plenty of room for your hang on the back filters, heaters, air stones. Now, of course, if you want full coverage, you can pop on the extender. I found this also fit perfectly. So great job with the measurements on the tank. I was able now to move my light up at least more toward the middle of the tank. So while it might not still be strong enough to take care of the Star Organi Ruppins and the Micro Sword, at least I'm getting more uniform coverage throughout the tank. The lighting isn't just simply in the back of the tank. Now it very well could be that I need 2 lights on this tank. We'll have to see how it goes, but I can certainly tell that I'm getting much more uniform lighting coverage throughout the tank rather than concentrated on the back. So there it is, folks. That is the Marineland Perfecto canopy, replacing the old stock aquarium hood that served me well for 6 years. But again, it's not a magic bullet for plant growth, but at least it's a little trick that can give you a little bit more uniform plant growth by going with an all-glass canopy and getting rid of that old stock aquarium hood. Folks, the Den is now on Instagram. Please join me if you are so inclined at DMichael's Fish Den. Just started posting there. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful, and as always, thanks for watching.